this on. This is where the other terminal on the end of the wires here breaks off. So I do wonder what those extra wires were for. There's clearly a history here to this radio. Okay. My little bag of goodies. Where'd he go? There was a pop-in thing. I think I saw it. Here it is. There it is. I did see it. Floating around on my bench. Okay, put that in there. And whip a touch of glue in there. Don't know if this is really going to hold or not. He's mean looking, so it might work. It's got to stay like that. I can't keep it like that, I don't think. Worry about it in a minute. Don't have to worry about it right now. This radio's not all the way out. The knobs didn't come out right. It gets so much for the glue. When it slides in, it gets caught on this piece of plastic that's in there. So I gotta get it up and over. Caught. Careful, careful, careful. Everything I do, it just gets stuck. That seems a little better. Oh, don't do that. That doesn't seem right. See, I'm losing my patience. Calm down, slow down, or you're just going to end up in bigger trouble. It's this piece of material here that's... What is it here for? I have no idea. Why would they put that in there? I get caught on this little edge here. Every time I go to put it in, it gets caught here. What is this? Love and courage. We can handle our problems through love and courage. Oh, I did eventually pull a wire off. Of course. Of course. Shows you how well I had it soldered. Oh, the wire broke. So there's an example of where I use the stripper. It's nicked the wire, and then the wire, after being flexed once or twice, broken. Yeah, that just chopped it right off. Son of a gun. See, I love these Bell wires, these Bell telephone wire. Now I've got just enough here. Oh my gosh, 45 minutes. $45 minutes plus. Yes, many days of excellent weather here. Oh, son of a gun. This has become really tricky to do. Everything's working against me now. See if I can melt the solder and shove this through the hole in the connector here. That's another case of needing many hands. Hey, I think I got it. Let's see if I can get a cabinet screw in. tight. And the cracks are already here, but I don't want to make them any worse. Even with those gigantic washers. Gigantic. Okay. Now, what are the chances that our glue is still gluey? Glue's gone hard. How unexpected. For what it's worth, we'll try again. Look at that! That's a fantastic. Where's the knob? Knob needs a cleanup. I missed that. Okay, there we are, a nice cleaned up knob. Looks a lot better. And I have, the only knob I have is this to go on there. This ugly. This is totally inappropriate, but better than nothing, I guess. Now let's see if I can remove the skid mark here. I've got a magic eraser. Gotta be careful with this stuff. Stuff can take the shine off of something that's really, really glossy. You be a little careful with it. It's gone dry. There we are. We got some more skid marks right along here. Let's see if I can get rid of those. Doing the plastic any harm at all. If anything, it's buffing it up. Now I've waxed this. After I cleaned it, I put some wax on it, so maybe this is just buffing it up. Looks pretty nice. Got rid of those marks. There we go. Not bad. Excuse me. Not bad, but does it work? Ooh. Coffee. Good for what ails you. Now, let's put on the power. Switch is off. There's no light inside. I can't deal with that. Excuse me. What happened here? Are we ready? I think so. Switch on. This is full power now, too. Full power! Come on, baby. Don't. How are you doing? What has happened now? That's not good. That's kind of suggesting my antenna's not connected. Come on, you can't be serious. Both wires are on there. What I thought we were all done. Apparently not. What's going on here? I don't believe it. Sometimes when you're soldering a wire onto a terminal, there's another wire on the terminal that you're unsoldering without knowing it. And I suspect something like that's happened. Oh my gosh. This is just ridiculous. I say this has become a ridiculous thing. Now, if this were plugged into a regular outlet, this would be a bit of a dangerous thing to be doing, poking around like this. Maybe not so much. How could this have worked and now it doesn't? That's a good question, Jim. Holy smokes, did I knock a tube out of place? Especially this one back here. There you are. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to deal with this another day. Son of a gun. I don't have another day for this radio. How could it do this? How could you do this? Okay, so I'm leaving it switched on. I'm going to try to extract it. You know what? Maybe it was the magic eraser. The magic eraser. It's all its fault. I shouldn't have magic erasered it. The magic eraser erased the radio. That must be the magic. Magic eraser was discovered by accident. It was a kind of pipe insulation you can buy. You put over top of, I guess, hot water pipes and stuff like that. And guys working with this insulation discovered that you could rub it on stuff and it would act like an eraser. And I guess guys at 3M make this stuff, magic eraser, heard about this, looked into it, and said, hey, what was that all about? How could turning that screw do that? So that's what magic eraser is. Pipe insulation. Nothing special about it. Just market it like so many things. Okay, come on out, radio. It's supposed to start working at any moment. Oh my gosh, it did. We did it. Trying to turn it up a bit. A resistor back here. I'm wondering if I soldered that to the wrong spot. How could I have done that? Very easily, knowing me. Oh, wait a minute. I tested this radio, it was working great. This part of the antenna is getting laid up tight against the chassis. So when you install the radio though, the radio goes in, the antenna stays out. like this. Did I not have the radio all the way forward? Maybe I didn't. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again. There we go. Good thing I got up real early this morning. So we're going to go. Assumption we didn't get it all the way, the chassis all the way in. It's already caught on something. So there's a dirt line under here. How can I wait a minute, I have to have the chassis all the way in because the screws were holding it. So maybe I had the bottom of the antenna pushed in. There's nothing really holding it out. Yeah, that must have been it. I just had the antenna pushed in like that. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay, let me put in a screw or two into the cabinet here. That's to make sure the cabinet is in its proper place, which it is. Just be a little more observant on where the antenna is going. I bet you that's all it was. I just had it pushed in. Might as well put them all in. Okay, the antenna's back now. Let's see. Yeah, you know, I probably did have it just shoved in like that. My gosh, that's going to be tricky on whoever buys this. Put something in here to block it. That's my theory. Let's see if the theory's correct. Or will the mystery continue? I thought I had some of those little felt circles. Nope. Felt washers, I guess. Once more, we go. We go at it. Full power. They sure look a lot nicer once they're cleaned up, eh? Even with the stupid knob on it. I don't think it's passing the test here. It just doesn't sound right. It should be hissing like crazy when I get it this volume up this high. That's on the antenna here. It's a little odd. That's 180 degrees. The sound only Let's tune it. Wow, its fantastic operations just disappeared. It's just a noisemaker now. What? That's really frustrating. It's a Frustrato radio. Works out of the box, doesn't work in the box. Okay. We know it can work, we heard it. It worked really, really well. Why are you being like this? And you see, they never ever answer. Notice I get a little more rugged with it because my patience is being tested. That was kind of weird how it popped there. Look, this glue is starting to hold and I keep breaking it. Come out, radio. Come out. Come right out here. Power on. Okay, it's warming up. I'm reviewing for stupid things I may have done. So this fan stock connector, when you put a long wire antenna on it, on the other side of the board is the resistor. So the antenna feeds through the resistor and into part of the loop. It's very normal because the loop antenna here is actually a transformer. Well, it doesn't sound so great either. Something has happened. That's my intelligent observation. Something happened. Power off. Now all these things that are so happy to be done with, like the speaker connections, everything. And now I'm going to have to fiddle with again. You bum. How does it go from working really well to working like a piece of dung? How does that happen? Here we go again. Oh, the struggles we face. I shouldn't talk after all the destruction that happened in the world. Hey, here's an interesting statistic for you. I was cutting my lawn yesterday. Thought to myself, how many people cut their legs off with their lawnmowers these days? So I jumped on the internet to ask the question everyone should be asking. How many people chop their legs off with their lawnmowers? I have a sloped lawn and it's a little risky to lawnmower it. That's what made me think about it. The statistic I learned is that every year in the United States, 17,000 children end up in the emergency ward with wounds caused by lawnmowers. 17,000. Now, not all those are children, obviously, who are having amputations, but some portion of that has to be amputations. I read about them. There's horrifying stories of how children, forget the adults just for a minute, children do get amputations. So if there's 17,000 a year, we can just guess 1,000 of them involve an amputation of a foot, a toe, a finger, a hand, a leg even, something like that. So if that's true, that's 1,000 amputations on children per year in the United States. That's roughly 3 per day. It stuns me when I hear these things, and you can look up almost anything, and these are the kinds of numbers that show up, these huge numbers. And people are all freaked out about some very small numbers. I don't want to get into this. I don't want to become political here. It's not wise anymore on videos, but just think about that. 17,000 children. You'd think there'd be a huge government program. There'd be lessons taught in the schools. All the police would be informed about this kind of thing. Parents would be brought up to speed on it. That this is a really serious thing. But if you want to look up more statistics, look up the number of children that die because they pull furniture over on top of themselves. Yeah, wow. And numerous other ways. There's probably some number of Frisbee-related deaths out there. So, when you see a hurricane go through and 12 people died, and 12 people were going to die anyway from some other reason, you really shouldn't get too excited about it. Sorry to say that. Obviously, if it's your relative. Oh, stop it. You see what's happened? This radio has driven me nuts. Okay, let me power it up again here. Okay, it's warmed up.
Right? My wife says to me things like, I don't know if I could be married to somebody who's like Donald Trump. And I said, well, honey, if you need divorce therapy, think it.
'Net World. Thanks for calling Alpine Credit. You're the guys that have been approving home equity loans.
Why doesn't it do this when it's in the cabinet?
You bet. Well, I was also born in 1969.
Gee.
But not at all.
Oh.
Wilma from Flintstones type of, like I dance in front of the type of, not that I do those things. Anyways, I own my own home. I need a loan. That's not weird.
Not at all. You're approved for the loan, that is.
Alpine Credit home equity loan.
Huh.
Toyota, because the 2017 Toyota Clear-Out event is here. Lease a 2017...
I'm not sure, but it could be just what I said earlier. I resoldered some connections here. I may have desoldered something. I'm going to resolder these two here and see what we get. Just letting my soldering iron warm up. soldering iron, as far as I know, the tip of it here is grounded back to the green wire, I think. The green power wire, so be a little careful about whipping a soldering iron out with a radio that's operating. That's why I shut this off. Otherwise it'd be real interesting to do this with it operating. Doesn't look like I did anything. Okay, Mr. Radio. One more time. Better work this time because I'm almost out of coffee. Well, we're on to something because I bonkered it completely now. You know what? I tested this wire. This one wire, which I think is going to the ground, when they're talking about it going through a hole in the chassis and then disappearing where I couldn't see it. I then pulled out my ohm meter and I read the resistance to the chassis and it was 0. And I thought, there you go. The wire goes directly to the chassis. Just does it inside for some reason. And then I thought I saw the actual connection right to the chassis. But what if I was wrong? What if in fact this wire is grounding out on the chassis? Doesn't seem to be. This thing was a hot radio a little while ago. Anyway, what if it was grounding out on the chassis? When I read it, that's what I was reading. Really a short to the chassis. And that's really the problem here. But, you know, I'm wiggling it around in that hole. It can't be that shorted. My gosh. Plus I can always have this antenna tipped where it's not receiving anything too. What happened? get a good look at this. Oh my gosh, that's it. Wow, when I look with my eyes, it looks pretty good. So much for my eyes. Wow, it's just barely soldered on there, I would say. Well, that other wire. This one down here. Well, that's the antenna lead from the antenna coil here. That's the kind of thing you can accidentally unsolder. Doesn't that look ugly? The whole thing looks ugly. Wire's going to fall off now. There's nothing going on with the radio. How can it be any of this? Everything is loose. That's terribly loose. Okay. Hold on 1 second here. Not enough hands. Oh my gosh. What is happening here? I don't understand how this connection can be bad. I've reached the point where I'm not even talking anymore. Give it lots of solder. Now, don't know. Switch on it. Maybe this antenna's been slipping back like this while I've been working and getting weaker. I haven't noticed. Maybe that's all it's been. Oh. Sounds of frustration. Almost no output. Oh, okay. Okay. I really hadn't pulled out the tubes and stuck them back in on this radio, which is often a helpful thing to do. One more time.
Ground ball out, 8 inning, 72 hours. Please provide management with a good contact number so that we can contact you, make sure you're safe. Also to inform you of the condition of the store and when we will be making pizza again. After the storm, we need to add in get the store up and running and serve our community as needed. Because that's the first thing you think of when you return to a moldy, soaked, waterlogged house.
Let's try it back in the cabinet. Where are we on the clock? Okay, it says 9 o'clock, which means it's actually 10 o'clock. Which means I'm in overtime. This was supposed to be a very quick little thing this morning. Oh, like so many. There is no such quick little thing. That's how it seems to be. Okay. Go all the way in. Nope, it's caught on something. There. Go. She's in. Again. Happen. No sudden shocks. I have such great faith I will put in all the screws. troublemaker. And glue is gone dry again. And this is sticking out. Everything looks good. I will even put on the knobs. Oops. Are we ready once again for another attempt at this? Once again, it's on full power this time. Oh boy. We're in business.
That's good. Now I noticed that Connor Green, Sean Reed Foley both pitched in Double A, both had ERAs over 5. They throw the ball well. They have to learn to command the pitches better. But that's why you have a minor league system. And when you see Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, and all these kids come, take off point where they can go
40 years of Brock, so you can draw up finance contracts for the car dealership? I guess you got to start somewhere, right?
On 680.
we're just ahead on 680 units.
Right on the money.
What the heck is that on the lakeshore? A driftwood sculpture of a sunbeam.
Oh my gosh, I got there. Wow. This guy was fighting right to the end. You're fighting everything right at the end. Beautiful though. Okay, so there we are. Finally. You never know who's going to put up a fight. Thanks a lot for watching the series, and we're on to something else now.